Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel, this isn't usually my type of content, but given everything that's going on in the world and everybody trying to get a hold of a face mask, I thought that I would do this quick DIY video to show you guys how I made mine and Jonathan's face mask. Now, I was scrolling through the CDC's website the other day and I came across one of the ways they suggested making one at home is with a bandana and coffee filters. So I thought that was an interesting idea because I have coffee filters at home. However, I didn't want to just use a bandana that I tied around my face. Now, I'm not really going out, as I'm sure a lot of us are not, but I do still go out for groceries and I wanted to start wearing a face mask because you just need to be safe and you need to take care of yourself and others. So I thought that combining like a face mask and the coffee filter idea from the CDC would be neat. So I did, and this is the first face mask that I made. It's completely like just one face mask and it has the coffee filter inside. However, when I made this one, I realized like, oh, like I'm only gonna be able to get one use out of it because obviously you have to get rid of them or wash them, but I can't wash this one because it has a coffee filter inside. So I came up with this way of making a face mask so you can take out the coffee filter, wash it, and then put in a new coffee filter. So that is what I'm going to show you guys how to make today. So if you guys are interested, all of these materials are things you can get at home. I also give you other options. So if you have a sewing machine or you know how to sew by hand, like the basic stitch, this video is for you. So let's get on into it. Everyone, so the materials for the mask are super simple and you don't have to go to the store. You could probably find them at your house. Like if you have an old t-shirt or you have some old like bed sheets or anything fabric that you're not going to use anymore, you can go ahead and take that out and grab a piece of it. So I had fabric because I just have it on hand. So I had this pink fabric, and then you're gonna want to have some coffee filters. This is optional, but the CDC website says that you can use coffee filters and a bandana to make a mask. So this is what gave me my idea, and I'll show you guys how I implemented it into like the face mask I'm gonna make. But again, you don't need this, but I am gonna be using those. And then you're gonna need elastic. Now, I had elastic because I make scrunchies, so I already had elastic on hand. But if you don't and you have a scrunchie, go ahead and rip it open and take the elastic out of it. Or if you don't have that, you can also use like a long piece of fabric and you'll just go ahead and tie it and use it as like an actual elastic. Or if you want to resort to like regular like hair ties, you can also do this. This would be perfect if you're going to sew by hand. It's a little bit harder for me to use since I'm going to use the sewing machine. I'm not that good at it, but you can also use these. So just be creative, look for things you already have at home, and let's go ahead and get on into it. Okay, so you most definitely don't need one of these, but I have it because like I said, I make scrunchies, so I already had it on hand. But all you're going to want to do is you're going to double up your piece of fabric. Okay, so I have the folded part of the fabric up here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 11 inches this way, and I'm going to cut my fabric. Could it be my imagination running out of steam? All I know is every time I see. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and cut my fabric 7 inches this way, so from here to here. But because I have the fold up here, I just want to make sure that I keep the fold, so I'm gonna flip it around and then I'm gonna cut it at 7 inches. Okay, so now that you have your piece of fabric cut, what you would usually think to do is to stitch straight across down here, but that's not what we're gonna do because I wanna make the little pocket to fit the coffee filter. So I am going to open it and then I'm gonna fold it to where the fabric overlaps. So probably kind of like if you were doing a little envelope. So just overlap it just a tad bit, like that. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is you wanna grab your piece of elastic, so like this one. I'm gonna put it right on the edge, and then this edge I'm gonna go ahead and fold over, and then I'm gonna stitch right down here, making sure I don't stitch the actual elastic. So that is what I'm gonna go ahead and do on my machine right now, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side.
Every day I'm looking for a way to return to the time when everything was easy to learn. Don't know when it started to.
So this is how the side turned out. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but all I did is when I started, I did do a back stitch just to close it off, went all the way down, and then once I got to the end, I did a back stitch again to close it out. If you're just sewing this by hand, you just want to make sure you tie it off and you make a few knots to make sure that it doesn't open again. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, and then I'll come back and cut off the excess fabric. Okay, so this is what it looks like once it's done. You're gonna still have that little pocket that I said and some excess on the side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these excesses as close as I can to the seam without actually cutting the seam. So just this fabric right here.
I'm unable to find the words. How can I be sure? I'm holding on when everything's gone. I've gotta be strong.
Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is you want to grab your coffee filter. I'm going to go ahead and double it up. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just going to take 2 of them, and then I'm going to try to cut it in as perfect of a rectangle as I can just to fit inside the mask. Just like that. And then now you're just gonna wanna tie your elastics to actually create your mask, and then you're done. Okay, and once that is done, this is how it looks. You can just go ahead and play with your elastics, make them fit inside of the actual seam so you don't see like the knot, but honestly, who cares about that as long as you have your mask. But that is everything. That's how I made my mask, and that is how you basically can continue putting in new coffee filters, and you're able to reuse them because you're able to throw them in the wash and put a new coffee filter in if you need to, and that is how you make it. Alrighty, you guys, so that is how you make the face mask that you can replace the coffee filter. And yeah, I thought this was a pretty neat idea. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed that it'll protect you, but something's better than nothing. I thought the coffee filter idea was neat. Hopefully you guys did too. But after it's done, all you have to do is you just go ahead and place it like a face mask. So just like that, and as you guys just saw, it does cover pretty good, so I'm pretty proud of them. I hope this helps someone out there. Let me know down below if you're gonna try it, but I hope, like I said, I hope it helps some of you guys out there. I know that getting face masks is pretty hard right now, so keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, keep everybody safe. Wash your hands, stay home as much as possible. If you absolutely have to go out, make sure you're wearing a face mask. But other than that, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick DIY. I will see you guys in my next normal upload. Bye.